Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have a very simple keto snack recipe for you. Today we are going to make very easy keto tortilla style chips that only contain 2 ingredients. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper and set it aside. In a large saucepan over medium heat, 1 cup or 8 ounces of water, and bring the water up to a low boil. While you're waiting for it to boil, in a large mixing bowl, combine 180 grams or about 1.5 cups of flaxseed meal. And if you want to, you can add some salt or any type of spices that you want. Then mix them in really good until they're fully combined with the flaxseed meal. Whatever type of spices and salt that you put in the flaxseed meal all depends on what flavor you want your chips to be. Then set that bowl aside for just a second. Check on your water. Once it comes to a low boil, it doesn't have to be a full rolling rapid boil, just enough to where you see little small bubbles starting to form in the bottom of your pan. Remove it from the heat. Add the flaxseed meal mixture. Then stir everything together for about 1 to 2 minutes or until a soft dough forms. When you first start mixing it, it's going to seem really wet and really sticky, and you're going to think, how is this going to make chips? But keep on stirring it. As you stir it, the flaxseed meal will absorb the liquid and it'll start getting thick, and within a minute or 2, you will have a nice soft dough. Once the dough has formed, scoop the dough back into your mixing bowl that you had the flaxseed meal mixture in. Be careful because the pan and the dough might still be a little bit hot. Once your flaxseed mixture is in the mixing bowl, use a wooden spoon and just kind of spread the dough out just a little bit. You're wanting it to cool for about 1 to 2 minutes or just until it's cool enough so you're able to touch it without burning your fingers. Once the dough is cooled off a little bit, dampen your hands slightly, push the dough all together to the center of the bowl, and form it into a smooth ball. Then massage the dough for about another minute. This is going to help any excess moisture to be absorbed so you have a smooth, thick dough. The dough might slightly stick to your hands. If you've dampened your hands, it shouldn't, but if it seems like it's sticking to your hands too much, then add just a tiny bit more of the flaxseed meal. Once you're done massaging the dough, roll it back into a smooth ball and divide the ball into 4 equal portions. Then shape each portion into a smooth ball. Make sure you get the ball smooth with no cracks in it. If you need to, dampen your hands just a little bit so the dough doesn't stick to your hands. Line a clean work surface with parchment paper and place 1 portion of the dough into the center of the parchment paper. Then cover the dough with another piece of parchment paper and press or roll the dough out very thin to about an 8 to 10 inch circle or until the circle is your desired thickness of what you're going to want your chip. So whatever thickness you roll your dough out to, that's pretty much going to be the thickness of your chip. I use a tortilla press and just press it flat. And then after I take it out of the tortilla press, if I feel that it's still not as thin as I want it to be, then I'll press it out just a little bit more. But again, the thickness of your dough just depends on how thin or thick you like your chips. The thinner you make your chips, the more they will crisp up and the quicker they will cook. Once you have your portion all pressed out to your desired thickness, Use a pizza cutter or a sharp knife and cut the circle into your desired size of triangles or strips, whatever shape you want your chips to be. Then place the chips onto your prepared baking sheet. I kind of alternate them a little bit when I have them on the baking sheet. I put one triangle right side up and another triangle upside down right next to it. That way I can get as many chips as possible onto the baking sheet. You don't have to do that. That's up to you. However you want to put them on there, you just want to put them on your baking sheet with a little bit of space in between each one of the chips. Don't stack them really close to each other. Make sure there's a little bit of space. That way you have a good even cook around them. Then repeat the process with the remaining portions of the dough. If your dough starts feeling dry at any time and it starts getting cracks or anything in it, then just lightly moisten your hands and kind of massage the dough a little bit to get moisture back into it. You want to make sure that your dough stays soft and stays smooth without cracks in it. Once your chips are all shaped and on your baking sheet, place them in your preheated oven. Bake at 350 degrees for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes or until they're darkened and crispy. How long they take depends on how thick you've rolled your chips out to. I made mine a little bit thicker, so it took me closer to 20 minutes. But ideally, you want to roll them as thin as you can without them becoming see-through. Once they're done baking, remove them from the oven. They will crisp up more as they cool, so allow them to cool on the pan for another 15 to 20 minutes or until they're cooled completely. If after they've been on the pan, after they've cooled for 15 to 20 minutes, if they're still not as crispy as you want them to be, then you can just toss them in your air fryer at 375 for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes or until they're your desired level of crispiness, or you can fry them on your stovetop 1 to 2 minutes on each side until they are your desired crispiness. As I said, depending on how thick you've rolled out your dough, it can vary on the times that it takes for it to get crispy. But if you've rolled it out thin enough, it shouldn't take any more than 15-20 minutes to bake and 15-20 minutes to cool all the way. Once they're all done cooling, you can serve them immediately, or if you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 1 week. Eat and enjoy.
And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.